Yeah.
And I have like this. Should I do the voice?
Do it.
Oh, hello there. It is me, Lyndall.
Where did we get this voice from?
It's from the Adventure Zone podcast. It's
Yes.
like a little bit of Magic Brian.
Magic Brian.
Brian. Hello, I'm Magic Brian. Oh, did you learn your magic missile from me?
It's a black spider.
The black spider. Oh no, Brian, I'm so proud of you. Oh no, I'm falling down the pit. Oh, I keep going. Oh, you foiled my plan. Oh, yep, that's my character's voice.
It's like they're like, what's your name? And it's Black Spider.
Black spider. Oh, you have foiled my plan. Oh, bad boy. Bad boy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Binger's Anime Edition. As always, I'm your host, Mo.
And I am Matty, and we're just a little old podcast that talks about animes with our fellow weebs out there. So, Mo, how's your week been?
It's been actually pretty hectic.
Oh, what's been going on?
I had to take Milo to the vet the other day.
Milo. I'm sorry. This dog's exhausting.
He is really exhausting, but he's super cute, so it makes up for it. You might.
I don't like
so.
dogs. I'm sorry. For all of y'all out there, I am not a dog fan. I love my cats.
No. Yeah, I had to take him to the vet. He's got a double ear infection.
He's a hot mess.
Honestly, though, it's my fault because he usually takes a shot for his skin problems, but he was doing so well that I just kind of decided to like not do it for July to kind of see how it would fare, and he got an ear infection. So
Tisk.
I know I'm a bad dog mom, but
Shame on you.
yeah, I know. So what's been up with you?
Not much. Oh, so this weekend though, my roommate came up and we kind of hung out.
Yes.
And that reminded me, your whole dog thing reminded me of oh, thank you for asking me how my week has been.
Yes,
I noticed this the first time in the 10 episodes we've uploaded that you have. Just saying. But I'm sorry, that was passive aggressive. But it was funny because I was like, chilling at your guys' house, and then fucking Milo jumps up and takes my seat. Little bitch.
That's actually his seat.
I don't care if it's his seat. He's a dog. He goes on the ground.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He's a dog.
He is treated as a king at my grandma's house.
Well, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be.
I'm
He's
pretty
an
sure my
animal.
grandma loves that dog more than me, but
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, I see it too all the time.
I can see it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sean came up and we made anime t-shirts. That was fun.
Y'all might.
Y'all might. Which ones did we make? So Sean made a One Piece shirt, which was really cool. And I made 3. I made 4. I made a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you made quite a bit.
I was like,
they all turned out really
this
cool.
one. I did Given. That was a good one. That was probably the best one. And then I did, of course, my
waifu.
My waifu, love her. And then I did, what's his name? Monochrome? What's his name? From
Monokume?
Yes, from Danganronpa. That one turned out really well.
That one was pretty cool.
It's really subtle, so I'll probably wear it in public a lot. Under
Yeah.
my jean jacket.
You made one more, though. Which one was it?
It was the Noragami shirt for my brother.
Did he like it?
Yeah, he likes it. I don't think he'll wear it, but I gave it to him. He's rewatching Noragami right now because he loves the show. And the 3rd season's actually been confirmed.
Oh, yeah?
Well, okay. He said it was confirmed. He showed me an article saying it was confirmed. I don't think it's been confirmed because it lost a lot of popularity in the 2nd season.
I'm going to be honest. If nothing is confirmed by Funimation, I don't believe it. I don't know why.
Funimation's not the studio making it, though.
Yeah, but still, that's just kind of my philosophy. If Funimation doesn't say it, then I don't believe it.
You're like, this is whole shit. But, yeah, that happened this weekend.
Oh, I saw like a poster and stuff about the Given movie coming out in October.
Yeah.
And it said that
59 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I was so mad about that.
You're like, that's only 4 episodes.
I was like, what? But I've heard that it's supposed to be like the saddest,
Yes, we love to cry.
the saddest, what's it called? It's not like a feature film, but, or is it? I don't know.
I don't know. It's
it's like a movie, but it's like shorter than like.
No.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm not good at this.
If you know, please tell me because I don't know.
Yes, please let us know because we have no idea what we're talking about.
But yeah, it's supposed to be like the saddest one of ever.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I'm ready for it. It's supposed to come out like months ago, but COVID.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
What do you want to talk about?
Remember when I was texting you and Sean in the group message? I was like Monday night, but all the stuff that was going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So update on the ghosty that's in my house, which we're literally recording in my bedroom. So this is probably a terrible idea.
What did you guys name it?
We didn't name it. Sean tried fucking naming this. And I'm like, you don't name the ghosty. You ignore it. You don't act like it's there. But I'm giving it to all the fans out there who want to know about my tragic lifestyle. But pretty much I was chilling in my room, doing my thing. I was about to go to bed early. I was like, it's going to be an early bed kind of night because it was like Monday night or Sunday night. Couldn't remember. And all of a sudden I hear our whiteboard that's for our dreams and stuff for our podcast is on.
Our dream board and schedule.
Yes, I heard something move. I was like, that's weird. And it sounded like, okay, it was like linked up against the wall, but it sounded like something dragged it up the wall and then threw it across the room. And like, Mo, you can vouch for there is a hole in my wall where this board hit and it fell and it knocked over a bunch of stuff when it fell. And I heard that the hell falling. I heard the like moving. I was like, that's weird. It's probably like the AC. But yeah, I was trying to like rationalize it because, the AC, I didn't want to. And I was just like, I don't know. And then I just kind of, it was in my room and I was like freaking out because I like poked my head out and I saw stuff had moved and I was like, and so I hid in my room. I hid under the blanket. And what did I say to you guys? Like, we were talking.
I told you to sleep with the Bible, and you said I'd shove that thing up my ass if I could.
I don't know why I said that. Like,
I don't know. I was like, that's the best quote I've ever heard about anything.
I was trying to say, like, if I could put this Bible in me so it like literally could protect me, I would. And I'm like, I'll shove it up my ass if I have to. I'm like, why did I say that? It didn't make any sense. But yes, that's how that night went. And then I was like hiding under my blanket and I was like, I'm not leaving. I got up the next morning because it was Monday night because that next day we recorded. And I walked out to the living room because we need to post a video of how my room is laid out. Like how the pool house is laid out, so people understand this. I took a couple videos. We can post it. All of my stuff is on the floor, knocked over everywhere. Like the whole living room is a train wreck. And I was like, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I came over and your whole like living room was just like wrecked.
Yeah, I was trying to like clean it up because the exterminator was coming that day. So I was trying to like move things off the walls, but like it was everywhere. And I was like, that's fine. Everything's fine. We're doing amazing. Like,
I feel like this happens at least like twice a month.
Yeah. Okay. It usually happens whenever the new moon starts. Yeah, so Mo, what animes have you been watching lately?
Ooh, you'll be happy to know I finally finished My Hero Academia Season 4.
We'll snap to that.
Finally finishing. Literally cried when Eri smiled.
I know. Spoiler, for anyone that hasn't seen it, but you guys should have watched it. We are late on the game here.
Yeah, kind of late.
But I did
it's
too.
Been out for a while.
Teared up. I teared up hard when that moment, and I was watching with my brother, so I couldn't cry. So I was like, Tear, get back in there. I was like, get back in there. No, you don't.
And then I've also finally finished the first season of Black Clover.
Yeah.
I'm starting on the second season. So, very excited about that because I have been very lax in my anime watching game lately.
Yeah, you have. You've been reading mostly manga.
I know.
And webtoons.
I know.
It's put a real damper on this podcast.
Hey, you know what?
I'm over here like throwing new sheets. I'm like, oh yeah, I watched this anime. Finished Happy Sugar Life. Regret that choice.
Regret that choice.
Regret that one, but it's there. Don't watch it, y'all, unless you want to be traumatized. And then... let's see, what else did I finish? I've almost finished Konosuba.
Ooh.
Have you watched that one?
No.
It's really good. Like, it's my favorite isekai anime.
Really?
It's just different from your typical
I like Rising
isekai.
of the Shield Hero.
Rising of the Shield Hero is real good. They're very different. If you want something funny, laid back, kind of goofy characters, something I would want to be these people's friends. I would join their party.
Yeah.
I would do it. You've been working on Banana Fish, right?
Yeah.
I wrote a large list of animes I want to watch that are underrated.
I know you sent them to me.
And apparently you haven't seen most of them.
I've seen 2.
I think I'm going to start Garden of the Sinners next. It's supposed to be like a psychological mystery. It's going to be it's really hard to follow the first time. It's a rewatchable type of show. So I kind of want to watch it, see if I like it, and then have you guys watch it with me.
Ooh.
But I think Holden and I are going to either watch me or Nikki when we go back to Stillwater, which...
You've seen that so many times.
No, I've only seen it twice. And
Really?
I've only seen it once all the way through. I've only seen the first half twice.
I feel like you've seen that way more than what?
I've started a lot of times, where the first 3 episodes I've seen with a lot of people. But it's not like Attack on Titan, which I've seen literally 10 times. Y'all, that's too much. But it's either that or we're going to start the Fate series, which is a hefty goal. But...
I finally told my dad the other day about the podcast.
Did he listen to it?
No, he does not want to listen to it. He actually made fun of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
No, because I was like, it got brought up when my dad was over, and then, he was like, well, I might listen to your podcast, and I was like, well, do you, like, have any interest at all in anime? And he was like, oh, what? And I was like, yeah, my podcast is about anime.
Sorry to break it to you, Dad.
And he's like, you mean anime porn?
Why does everyone say that? But they think anime is just hentai. And
I was like, what? No. I was like, we don't do that on the podcast. And
I mean, if any of our listeners want us to review Moku no Pico, we will watch
Matty
it.
can do a special.
I'll do a special, y'all. I'll do it for the fans. I am not limited by any genre. I will review anything the fans want.
But,
anything.
Yeah, he's like, well, if you guys reviewed anime porn, I might listen. And I was like, you nasty.
You nasty little buzzard.
And, and then, like, my mom came in and she's like, have you listened to their podcast? And, and she's like, well, don't turn it on in the car when kids are around. And I was like, yeah, it specifically says.
Explicit.
All right,
because we curse. I am sorry, y'all. But, yeah. Oh, I've been watching Bones, It's not an anime, y'all. It's an actual TV show.
I know what you're talking about now.
I mean, not that anime is not TV, but it's like a Western TV show, live action. And I hope most of you guys I'm watching it really late because it came out a while. It had 12 seasons. I'm watching it with my family, and I'm like, okay, we're watching, and they're like, oh yeah, that character got shot. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, it was in the season finale. I'm like, why didn't you have me watch? There was a serial killer. I only watch it for the serial killers that happen. And then I'm like, and they're like, yeah, it was actually kind of sad. So I watched it, and I kind of cried because it was a sad death scene. And then while I was there, I just watched all the death scenes. And then my favorite character gets killed off in the 10th season premiere. And it was like bad because like his wife was pregnant with his child, and then he got shot. And I was like,
getting crazy.
I was like, I didn't know we were watching Grey's Anatomy. Like, everyone's starting to die. It's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be lighthearted, but okay.
Pretty much the only kind of TV that I watch is 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah.
I watch quite a bit of that.
I watch a lot of Parks and Rec and The Magicians. I like The Magicians a lot.
I can't get into Parks and Rec.
Dude, it's so funny. I love it. I watch a lot of Amazing World of Gumball and South Park.
I know you watch a lot of Amazing World.
I love the Amazing World of Gumball. I'm waiting for the new season to get on Hulu, and I'm going to watch that.
Okay.
I love that show.
I know. Yeah, I know you. Because
if anyone wants us to review the Amazing World of Gumball, let us know.
I feel like every time I come over to you and Sean's house, it's always like the Amazing World of Gumball's on or South Park.
Yeah, when we were in the apartment for sure, but now we go in our rooms and hide.
That's sad.
Yeah, my TV's. I have my old small TV in the living room, and it's really small, and it's not really working. So we might need to get a new TV. We also might need to get new couches for other reasons.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
we won't bring that up.
We're not bringing that up on the podcast. But yeah, that's kind of how our weeks have been going. And there's actually been quite a bit since the last time we reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because last week we had the guest star, didn't we?
Yeah, we had Dylan on last week.
So if you guys like that, please let us know. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished Promised Neverland. I still have 2 episodes left.
You never finished?
I mean, I finished it the first time, but I didn't finish it rewatching it because I ran out of time. Because we suddenly changed recording dates as a whole thing.
It was, It
was a hot mess.
We are a hot mess.
But yeah, we should probably finally crack into it. We've been rambling for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're editing a lot of that out. By we, me, because I do all the editing. Mo.
Nervous laughter.
Yeah.
So let's get into Fire Force.
Yeah, let's get into it, Mo. So do you want to talk about the Oh wait, we didn't say what show we're reviewing. We're reviewing Fire Force this week. Do you want to talk about the production information?
Yeah, let's get into the production information. So, Fire Force was originally a manga written by Atsushi
Crazy, it was a manga.
Akubo. It's always a manga.
Didn't he write Soul Eater?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, I know he did.
Okay. And the original run ran from September 23rd, 2015, and it's still ongoing. So
yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good. So.
And it was published in Weekly Shonen Magazine, as they all are.
As they all are.
The anime was directed by Yuki Yase the first season, but the second season will have a different director. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, one for the second season is Tatsuma Minamikawa. We'll see what he does. I honestly couldn't find a whole lot of other work for both of them, so we'll see different styles and whatever. The composer for Fire Force is Kenichiro Suehiro.
What else has she done? Or he?
Goblin Slayer.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then one of my favorite animes, Princess Jellyfish.
Oh my god.
It's
I've
not
heard
what
about it. I've heard about it. It's actually
love
really good.
it.
It just cracks me up.
That one's one of my favorites. You have to go watch it. The studio is David Production, which does other famous works as JoJo.
Yes, the
and
JoJo.
Cells at Work.
Didn't they also do Soul Eater?
I didn't see Soul Eater.
Yeah, I think they also produced Soul Eater. Or did Bones do Soul Eater?
I think Bones did Soul Eater.
Yeah, regardless, it was very shocking that this studio produced this type of quality animation. We'll get into that later, but we're looking it up for the fans.
We're going to look it up. But, yes. Soul Eater.
They did do Soul Eater?
Hold on. Studio Bones did
They did do
Soul Eater.
Sorry, I was mistaken. This is why I do not do the production information, because I am wrong.
But yeah, that's kind of basically it is a action fantasy, dark fantasy, sci-fi.
I would not call it.
That's what it said on the genre.
I would call it post-apocalyptic, if anything. But yeah, that's probably what Wiki. Is it Wikipedia?
Yeah.
You're basing it off of Wikipedia. You could have looked it up on Mal.
Yeah, I could have, but...
Maybe I should do the production information too, then.
I've done that. Hey,
I'm attacking you so
me.
much. I'm so sorry. I've been attacking you like this whole time.
My goodness, I do a good job with the production
Yes, you do. I'm glad I don't have to, because it annoys me to look it up.
I like looking it up.
I'm like,
I like to see all the different ones.
I just need to write the synopsis. Speaking of synopsis.
Let's get into the synopsis.
Okay, so I wrote a little... Okay, as we know, last episode I tried to be a little more eloquent with talking about Promised Neverland, and I just stopped halfway through because I said, screw this. So let's try it again. Should I do it in my Magic Brian voice?
Oh my gosh. Please.
I don't know if I should. Okay, we're gonna...
No, let's not do it. Magic Brian.
If you guys want us to, let us know. We can do that. But, okay. In year 198 of the Solar Era Tokyo, Japan, which is in the future, the new era, special fire soldiers fight infernos, which infernos are humans that suffer from spontaneous human combustion. No one really knows why that happens. They just literally spontaneously turn into flames and turn into infernos. And the Special Fire Force Company is sent to kill them, to put them down. And that's pretty much what they do. A lot of the Special Fire Force has pyrokinetic abilities, which... So, Infernos are first generation spontaneous human combustion, and then second generation and third generation are people that have pyrokinetic abilities, and they're in the Fire Force. Our story revolves around a third generation pyrokinetic Shinra Kusakabe, and he joined Special Company 8, and Company 8's main purpose is to investigate the other 7 companies and to solve the mysteries of spontaneous human combustion. So pretty much our story revolves around Shinra trying to figure out his backstory, what caused the fire 12 years ago, while also revolving around the members of Company 8 and their investigation of the other companies and solving this mystery. I think that's a pretty decent synopsis, would you say?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent. But like when you say it all, and it's just like, if I didn't know the exact plot, I would think like, holy crap, that's a lot.
It seems like a lot, but I think it's well written. I think I think the world development is really key, because the next thing I want to talk about. They
explain it very well.
I want to talk about the story and the world development next. So do you want to kind of talk about the world a little bit, like how the world is set up?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very kind of religious like setup in the world, and then
the great sun god,
the god Sol. So I love the word Sol.
Sol, Lato.
But you know, it's modern, but it's more centered around like religion and fire and like I feel like
science research into it.
It's kind of
it's interesting to see how much the world's changed, because in this post-apocalyptic world, Tokyo is the only place that's inhabitable, and so you have Hajime research, and they do all the research, they're sciencey. Then you have the Sun Temple and stuff, and they worship Lato, and then they have what's it called, the energy source. It's a giant tower thing in the middle of the city.
I don't remember.
Omonashu, something like that. Omonashu. I forgot its name.
I don't remember.
Sorry, y'all, but you guys know it. If you know, you know. You know. But pretty much each company, has different focuses. So Company 1 and Company 6 they're under the sun. They directly report to the temple, while companies, 5 and 3 go to Hajime, and then Company 8 is supposed to investigate. Company 4 and Company...
Is it 7?
2? Company 2 are more of like a military faction. We haven't been introduced to those two companies much, but I think they're more military focused.
Yeah.
And then Company 7's the proto-nationalists, which I like them a lot. They kind of do their own thing. I like them, but that's kind of like the world.
Yeah, Company 8 is kind of like the special forces and stuff that was like,
meant to investigate.
Yeah.
Because they don't work together. They all have own motives.
Kind of like checks and balances within the Fire Force.
Yeah, kind of. But the world's definitely an intrigue, kind of draws you in because it's different, and I think the author's done a good job writing it.
But like recognizable.
Like we can follow it. It's like Attack on Titan is kind of comparable to it. It's post-apocalyptic, but it has a social structure. It makes sense why it's set up. We reviewed that and talked about it a lot. Fire Force has a very similar world development. It's not as in-depth and in tune to the minor details of day-to-day life, but the political system is set up pretty well, the social structure. So the constant fear of turning inferno is very prevalent in everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's the world. Do you kind of want to talk about kind of like how you felt about the story? Kind of like...
I honestly liked it. I mean, it was really kind of hard for me in the beginning to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Usually with animes like this, it doesn't take me, but literally like an episode for me to get into it. But it took me a while to finally kind of get into it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean...
Which is kind of...
I think it was finally like, with the battle with Rekka, and that I finally kind of got into it.
That is for me when I kind of got into it too.
And I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And, I was like, well, holy crap, I feel like there's so many traitors within like the Fire Force thing. I was like, they just need to clean house or something.
Yeah, well, that's another thing we should probably explain. The Evangelist is the White Clads. They're kind of the main villains.
Anti-group.
They're like a cult that is formed from I mean, their motives are still kind of unclear. Pretty much, they just want to make the whole world burn again. Because
they want to, like, bring back, like, the age of fire and stuff.
Because that's what happened. That's why the solar calendar is 198, because 200 years ago, there was a giant fire that wiped out most of humanity, and Tokyo is the only place that's inhabitable. White Clods want to burn the world again. It's not a huge spoiler.
Because it didn't, like, work fully the first time. Exactly.
And so it's very interesting world development and stuff. I don't know, the whole there's a lot of mystery involved on everyone's backstory, like what's going on, and that's interesting how the story tries to answer those questions, but also how much of it is not answered.
Yeah.
And which I really hope is answered in the second season, because that's where I feel the story lacked a lot, where there's characters that had motives that we didn't know, and I hope, and what it sounds like is the second season will indulge in those more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think, you know, I feel like it had pretty good pacing. You know,
yeah,
like, it wasn't too fast, and it wasn't, like, so boring that it was just like, come on, like, you know.
Yeah, I liked it. We'll talk about the characters in a little bit, but one of the biggest issues I had with it is there's a lot of characters, which is
that was one of my
for
biggest.
A lot of shonens. I mean, it's like Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
It's packed full of characters. You're only supposed to care about a few. But I think it's going to be like Fairy Tail, which each character does have a moment. They do have character development. And I think Fire Force is going to be kind of like the next Fairy Tail. It'll have a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. I was literally, like, writing down the characters for this show and stuff, and I was like, holy crap, there are a ton of characters.
Yeah, we're not talking about all of them. We'll get into that. I think that kind of boils down the story. It really just revolves around Shinra and his desires and his
figure it all out, get his brother back, and, like,
they really are driven to solve the cure, the what's causing spontaneous human combustion, and their investigation into that, and that's really what drives the plot. And I think that mystery aspect is kind of what drives it. It's unusual for shonen. A lot of shonens, like, they have a clear goal, and there's, like, One Piece. They're trying to find the One Piece. Attack on Titan is, well, I guess Attack on Titan's not a great example, because that's a whole little shit show. But, like, My Hero, become the number one hero. Fairy Tail, be the number one guild. What are some other shonens? Black Clover, become the Wizard King. Like, you know,
Soul Eater, you know, become a Death Scythe.
Death Scythe, yeah, and, you know, do that. Like, it's more of a, we're going to become this. We're going to be, like, and Shinra has the hero aspect he wants to be, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I like the mystery aspect better. Like, I like mystery animes better anyway, so I think that's what drew to me about this anime. Is like, oh, fine, to figure out what's going on. And,
like, it's like, human combustion's like a bad thing, but we don't know what's causing it.
Which I liked. And I saw a lot of hate on that. That was one of the issues a lot of people talked about. Like, no one knows what's going on. There's so many questions. But I think that's because they're used to shonen having all those answers goals. Already. Yeah. And this show heavily revolves around flashbacks. And I don't really like flashbacks, but I think the show, it works because of the mystery aspect. Because you can't just have all the answers and see real-time development. You need flashbacks to understand. But that's just me. But we should probably get into characters. Do you want to talk about the first character?
Yes, let's talk about our first, like, main character, Shinra Kusakabe.
The Devil's Footprint.
Yes. He... long, 12 some odd years ago or something. Was it? Yeah, it was 12 years ago.
12 years ago, yeah.
His house kind of went up in flames, and, like, his mother disappeared, and, like, his, brother died. They died, or so he thinks. And, he developed his, like, third gen, pyrokinetic abilities.
Which they call the Devil's Footprint, because he
looked like a devil, and because he
smiles. Oh my gosh, I love this. He has this nervous tick where he smiles like a devil whenever he's nervous, and so when his mom and brother
in,
died,
stressful situations.
Yeah, he's smiling, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's that devil," and
he's like, his family's dead, and he's smiling.
Yeah, and so he's an interesting character, and because he's called a devil, he wants to be a hero. Like, that's his main drive, to prove everyone wrong and help people and become a hero. So it's interesting. How do you feel about the character in terms of, like, because we didn't really say this yet, but Fire Force was massively popular when it first came out. Like,
yeah.
very well. I think it's still well received.
Yeah, last
And
year when it
everyone
came
was
out,
simping
it was...
over this character. How do you feel about that?
He wasn't my favorite. Like, there were a lot of other characters that I liked more than Shinra.
I definitely like the side characters a lot better.
I don't know if that's like... I don't know. Lately, I found that's kind of like a running theme in a lot of shonen ones where I've liked the side characters more than the actual main character.
I'm tending not to like main characters in any anime I'm watching.
Yeah.
I love the side characters.
I feel like they made him, like, kind of really overpowered and, like, you know...
I don't know.
I like it when, you know, the main character is kind of, like, on the same footing as, like, everyone else.
Yeah, and he's
like,
just a rookie. He shouldn't be as powerful as he is. But my big issue with it is not necessarily the overpowered aspect, because they do that with pretty much every main character, because that's just what makes a great shonen, why people want to watch it. My biggest issue is I love that people call him a devil, and he wants to prove that wrong by becoming a hero. But his version of a hero is like Superman. And he does this weird quirk thing where he's like saving the princess kind of kick-bucking man. And he does that. And I'm like, I never really liked
hero
it.
Come to the rescue type
kind of man.
You
he
know.
always says something man. And I get it. It's quirky. It could be cool. But I don't like it. Like, for me, it's just kind of, like, cringy. But I can see why people do like it. It's kind of just a preference thing. And, but I don't like his view of what a hero should be. His view is like a Cape Crusader. And for me, I feel if he's trying to prove everyone wrong that he's not a devil and he wants to be a hero, I think I don't know. I don't know what it should be, but I didn't like how comic book his version of a hero is. I guess it's also like my hero is someone that saves people.
Yeah.
I wish that was his driving force. It's like, I'm going to save people. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to be a hero and heroes save people, so I'm going to save you.
Yeah.
You know, does that make sense? It's kind of backwards, but it might just be he has character development later.
Yeah. I'm hoping we see something a little bit better from him later on, you know, with,
I agree.
you know, of course, like him getting back with his brother and all that, you know.
But yeah, I can explain the next character.
Go for it.
Captain Obi. He is the captain of company Special Fire Force Company 8.
Akiteru Obi.
Yes, I like him a lot. He's a non-powered Fire Force captain. He doesn't have any pyrokinetics. He was a firefighter, like an actual firefighter, and then he formed this company to investigate the others because he thought they were corrupt. And he's like, he always works out. He's super like buff. He's constantly working out. He's like bullheaded. He's strong. He's a charismatic leader.
He's as like strong as everybody else, even though he has no
powers.
Pyrokinetic.
And he's
abilities.
a very charismatic leader. He has a good heart, and I like that about him. He's definitely like.
He was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I think he's very comparable to All Might. In terms of like how people respect him, but he's not so over the top as All Might. And because I am here,
young Midoriya.
He's not like that. He's more of like, okay, guys, we're gonna go kill those infernos, but we're gonna respect them. You know, he's like
we're gonna respect people.
He's down to earth, and I like that about the character. Earth, I said it, Earth. Ugh.
We'll not go that way.
We're not going that again. Anyone?
But yeah, he was a good character. I really liked him.
Yeah, I did too. Do you want to explain the next character?
Let's talk about Arthur Boyle.
Okay, well, yeah, sounds good.
We could.
I was like going a different route with my character list, so I was kind of. But no, Arthur's a good one. Arthur is a whole.
He's a whole different story.
Arthur. I can't with Arthur. Please explain. I don't want to talk about this character.
So Arthur has got this whole, like, you know, King Arthur of Knights of the Round Table.
He wants to be a knight. He literally thinks he's a knight. I'm like, this boy's insane.
Like, what's he call himself? He calls himself King Knight?
He calls him Knight King.
Knight King.
Because a knight is lower stature, so he says Knight King. And it's this weird rivalry with Shinra and...
Because they were, like, in the academy together or something like that. And...
Yeah, like, pretty much blonde hair kid with he has a little hair thing that kind of jiggles.
He puts his bangs up when he goes out on a call.
Yeah, and like he has this plasma sword that...
Because he's 3rd gen.
He's a 3rd gen, and pretty much his ability is to condense his fire so tightly that he can create plasma, and his sword can cut through things. So he has this whole persona of being a knight. He like... The more knightly he feels, the more powerful he is. And
he's a whole load of
But
stuff.
he's a total moron. He's
Yeah.
so stupid. So stupid.
He was okay. Like, he was good for, like, comic relief.
Yeah,
in
but he kind of
places
became a
and
lot.
Yeah, but it was, like, around, like, episode, like, 14 and stuff, I was like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Stop.
I did like him in the whole Vulcan arc
Mm-hmm.
where he put the... What does he call it? The little donkey thing?
I don't even remember.
Silver. He puts silver. He literally attaches silver to like his crotch, and he puts a cape on, and he goes and fights them.
Yes.
And he becomes super powerful because he literally thinks he's a knight. And then he sees himself in a mirage, and he's like, "That's how I look. I have a donkey attached to my crotch." He's like, "This is so unknightly," and I'm like,
It's like you
What?
finally realized.
"What is going on with this character?" But he's an interesting character, that's
Mhm.
for sure. I personally think and want him to be a traitor. I can
Yeah.
see him being a traitor.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think it would be a good plot twist the show needs right now. I mean, maybe not this very moment, but like
Later on.
I think it would be interesting to see that he's actually works for the White Clad, or he's a high-ranking
like that he's
commander.
always worked for the White Clad, or that like they recruited him.
I don't know. Something. I think I'm interested to see what they do. I can see him either that he's some sort of traitor. Either he was recruited by another company, but I think he's more of a White Clad type of thing. I can see that.
Yeah.
With his whole persona, I can see him being a White Clad.
And especially like his whole like rivalry with like Shinra and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I just think that character needs some more backstory. So either he's a traitor or he needs more backstory.
That's true, because we literally the only thing we kind of know about the dude is that he's got some rivalry with Shinra, and
Yeah,
that he
he's
wants
like-
to be a knight.
Yeah, he's a lot, but I kind of like the character, but he's a lot sometimes.
Yeah, no, that I can definitely see that there were times and stuff I wanted to just like reach through the screen and just like punch the
Punch
dude.
the dude in the deck, the dude. Yeah, I understand.
So who's the next person on your list?
I want to talk about Lieutenant Hinawa. I love this character. He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
He is your... okay, for my hero friends out there, he's like he's a combination of Aizawa and Ida.
Yep.
Like he's like
Yeah.
a little combo of them. He wears the glasses, he's kind of tall, and he's used to be ex-military. He's very serious, he's very regiment, he's very like...
But then he's got the like
discipline.
aloofness.
But he has
of,
the
like,
aloofness
Aizawa.
like of his fashion sense, and I love that. That's like a running gag. And like everyone's like, "You have terrible fashion sense." He's like, "You are going to file this paperwork," and he's like very serious, and I love that. His pyrokinetic ability is because he used to like be in the military. He shoots guns, and he controls the burst from
Yeah.
shooting the bullet,
And he can do the trajectory of the
yeah, he
bullet
has
and-
ricochet abilities. He pretty much can make the bullets less powerful,
Mhm.
so it can only hit people and doesn't kill them. But he also can make it super, super strong, where he's like shooting a cannon out of a shotgun. So it's really cool. Like, I love the pyrokinetic abilities of the character. I think he's really cool. Like in the opening, we'll talk about.
Mhm.
I just love this character. He's cool with his pistols, and I was like, whenever he fights Company 5, and he's just like shooting everyone, I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, when he like shot like behind the thing and they like all
yeah.
ricocheted and like hit the like
Oh, yeah.
bubblegum guy.
Like in anime, they don't a lot of times have guns.
Mm-hmm.
There is some, but they don't have like, I don't know. Like I haven't seen a lot
Unless
of
they're like
anime.
extremely modern,
Yeah.
then they don't have guns.
Yeah, and a lot of animes aren't made in
Yeah.
a modern setting, and even if it is, it's more of a slice of life or a rom-com, and you don't usually have someone that's a weapon ammunition specialist and stuff.
Nichijou had a gun.
Oh my god, we're not talking about that show. But yeah, that's Lieutenant. You know what? Do you want to talk about the next character?
Yeah, the next character on my list is Iris.
I love Iris. She's a sweetheart, precious girl. Do you want to talk about her?
I love Iris. Like, I loved her whole little like backstory and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Though I'm still like, I don't know. I really like Iris and stuff. I'm still just a little bit confused about her, though.
I think this character is going to have a huge impact in the show later on. I think they've been hinting at it. But yeah, there's definitely some confusion about her. But yeah, Iris is a short-statured blonde girl, blue eyes.
She's a nun.
She's a nun. She's non-powered. She's very critical for the first arc. Well, second arc, technically. And she's a huge thing of Company 5 with Princess Habana, which we'll talk about later. I love Princess Habana. But she's very, very sweet, down to earth. She's just all around a really great character. But clearly there's more to this character than we know about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like her a lot.
She's kind of like the little mascot of Company 8 type thing.
Yeah, she's like the cute little girl, but she's not overly sexualized either.
I know. And
there is, of course, your typical fan service.
God for that.
Yeah, she's a nun. You can't. Well, okay. In the shower scenes, they're always a fan service shower scene, but there is that one fight where they literally just strip her clothes off and make her the typical damsel.
Well, and then there's also that one scene where Shinra kind of sees her doing a morning prayer type thing.
While naked. I'm interesting, but okay.
Interesting opening there. I think you got there.
That's interesting, but yeah, that's Iris. Next character, I'll talk about Maki. I don't know her last name, but
Ose.
Yeah, Maki Ose. She is the daughter of a general in the military, and she's a second gen pyrokinetic. She can control flames. She has these two. She can control sputter and flare. She's kind of aloof. She's super strong. She's built like a gorilla,
like an ogre, as
literally
Arthur calls her,
as they call her. And she has this thing where anytime someone says anything about her, she's like, "Why are you calling fat fat gorilla?"
Well, they'll literally say the littlest thing, and she's like, "Why are you calling me chopped veal?"
And then she'll punch the crap out of them.
And he's like, "I'm not calling you. I never said that."
It's pretty funny, and she's really strong-headed. But she also has this fairy tale mind, her head's in the clouds kind of thing, and I like this character. I really hope there's more character development for her because all we have is she's the daughter of a general. That's why she's strong.
Super strong.
I think there's a lot of potential with this character, and I hope they indulge in that later.
Yeah, because we didn't see any of her backstory really.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Iris's and Hinawa we saw a little, but we didn't see much of Captain Obi.
Hinawa's kind of overlapped with Maki's
a little
bit, but that was kind
of
about
definitely had more of a backstory than all the other secondary characters.
Yeah.
I really hope Maki has a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about the next character?
Let's talk about Tamaki.
Yes, you love this character, don't you?
Yeah, she's okay. I have problems with this character, and I don't know if it's just the feminist coming out in me or...
I think it's the feminist coming out in you because I love this character. Because you give me titties, I'm like... Hell yeah, fan service.
It's just the feminist coming out in me because, this character, she's very powerful, and they make it very, obvious in the first 3 episodes. Yeah, she's very powerful, but throughout the whole show, they seem to just dumb her down through fan service.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Tamaki is she's in Company 1. She's not in Company 8. She gets put on suspension, and she
moves to Company 8.
Company 8 because she screwed up big time. But she's very much your typical catgirl type of character, long black hair. She
pigtails,
runs around like a cat. But she has this thing called a lucky lure, which pretty much means her clothes fall off at random times, or she just gets in really awkward positions, which is funny. Whenever they're chilling in Company 8.
But it's I always hate the characters and stuff the girl falls boob first into the guy's face, and then the girl's like, "You pervert, you stuck your face in my boobs."
Yeah.
And then it's
you fell
into him.
Yeah, it's one of the annoying tropes for me as well. But it makes great comedy and fan service. Mostly fan service.
I just wish that more anime wouldn't dumb down their female characters.
Yeah, which we talked about this a little bit ago, and I agree. I really wish a strong female character would be present, but that's not the culture.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing for us Western culture us Western listeners, we all are like strong feminist movement in America and stuff. But in Asia, especially in Japan, no, that does not exist. And it's not the culture of that country. And it doesn't mean it's excusable, but in terms of perspective, we need to understand that this is not us writing this show. It's not Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is an American show, which treated their female characters really well. This is Japan. They have a different culture. They have different things they write. The fans in Japan like how these characters are written. In Japan, women stay home. They work at home. Korea is way worse, but not worse. That's just how the culture is there. Women who get married while they're in a career will get fired from their job. That is very common in Japan. I mean, that's just their culture. We have to understand that's what's going on.
And, I understand that that's their culture and stuff. It's just, it's just hard for me to,
yeah. It doesn't make it enjoyable. But it's
hard for me to see a really powerful character, get that kind of story.
Exactly. I understand. But I kind of compare it a lot to Ouran High School Host Club. A lot of the jokes they made 20 years ago was great. It was funny. But if they try making a remake now, it would not go over well.
They'd have to probably redo all of their jokes.
Oh, yeah, which I think would take a lot away from it, except for especially how they talk about the cross-dressing community that is very prevalent in Ouran High School Host Club. It would not be received well. I don't think in Japan either.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things we understand 20 years ago that was funny, and we can enjoy that now, but it's not acceptable. Kind of like how they treat their female characters in Japan, that's their culture.
Yeah.
It might be different 20 years from now, which I feel like it is. I think it's slowly changing.
Yeah, it's slowly changing. We're starting to see more stronger female characters and things like that, and not a little less fan service,
Which, I love fan service. But I think it's important for us as a Western culture watching the show to not force our ideals onto a different culture's medium.
Yeah.
And so we can complain all we want about it, but are we justified in those complaints? It's just our opinions and what we like, which is what this podcast is, but you know how I am. I like looking at it from
different angles.
I like looking at everyone's perspective. And so for me, I understand. And also as a boy, I don't mind the fan service.
Yeah.
But I also respect, I would, SAO, Asuna, I wish she was a badass. She was so close to being such an overpowered character, being a great female character, and they didn't make her that way. And same with this show, how they treat Tamaki, Iris, and even Princess Habana and Maki, they do not treat their female characters well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it would make this show so much better if they wouldn't have the fan service of Tamaki in the middle fight scenes.
Yeah.
I understand your complaints.
Yes. That's just kind of my complaints I had about Tamaki and stuff. It was just there would be moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, she's such a freaking badass, and that's so cool, and then her clothes would fall off, and it would just be
okay, fine. But yeah, I understand what you mean. It's very frustrating. But yeah, I'll kind of go over the next two characters in Company 8 really quickly. We have Vulcan and Licht. Vulcan is the engineer. He has a whole story arc dedicated to him. He's a very great engineer. He's non-powered. And Victor Licht is just the science wing, but they don't come until the very end of the anime. And both of them are non-powered. Both of them are I love Vulcan. He's very
intelligent.
Very intelligent, down-to-earth character. Victor Licht is just a typical mad scientist. I would compare him to
Soul Eater
Stein. I would compare him a lot to Stein, which there's probably a lot of similarities because it's the same author. But both of those characters are interesting. Do you want to talk about Joker?
Yeah, let's talk about Joker. He's kind of like the middleman, and he's not really on one side. He's kind of running interference between the two sides, kind of the back and forth. He goes cause trouble for the Fire Force, but then again, it's he's not totally
for the Fire Force.
Yeah,
he's he also fights the Evangelist, so we're not really sure about Joker.
He'll go make an Infernal, but then it's not he's completely.
I don't think he ever made an Infernal.
No, in the first couple episodes, didn't he make that Infernal?
He just started a fire.
Oh, I thought
and
he
tried
made
killing
the
everyone.
Infernal, but
I don't think he didn't make the Infernal. It was the Evangelist that made the Infernal. But I guess we should describe his appearance. He is a lot of influence from New Orleans, I feel like.
yeah, kind of voodoo
doctor type of vibes. His music's really cool. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I like his little theme song. He uses a cigarette to make smoke. He uses ashes of infernos to kind of burn stuff. He uses cards, and he has his hat, and he has like a scarf thing. He's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, he's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But I like Joker.
Works with Licht.
He works with Licht. That they work together. They conspire, and so that's why everyone's like, "You're probably a traitor, Licht, because you come from High Jama." And he's like, "Why does everyone think I'm a bad guy?" And we're all like, "Because you are. Like you work with Joker."
You are.
But one other character I want to talk about before we're done with characters, because there's too many. My favorite character is Princess Habana. I love Princess Habana so much. She is the Company 5 captain. She's only 20 though. And
oh really? She's only 20.
She's only 20. She's younger than us.
Oh.
And she's like that. She's a lot. She and Iris grew up together as nuns in a
nunnery.
A nunnery. Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I thought it's called not coven. Convent.
Nunnery, convent,
Yeah.
the same thing.
But pretty much their backstory is that one day all the other nuns died. They got all turned into infernos except for the two of them. And they don't really know why. And they went on two very different paths. Iris became a sweet nun, whereas Princess Habana focused on her pyrokinetic abilities and
science.
And she solves a lot of the mysteries of spontaneous human combustion with her research, and she becomes a captain. She has this whole thing about how everyone's lower than her and how everyone's gravel, which I think this character actually is treated fairly well as a female character, except for she just becomes love obsessed with Shinra to a certain extent.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Because he saved her at her lowest point.
I don't know. It was just like I was watching, and like she was pretty badass, and then all of a sudden she was in love with Shinra, and I was like, what?
I think it's because Shinra was like, I'm going to save you because you deserve to be saved. And I think that's what hit her. And then she and Iris, are becoming friends again, and they love each other. Not love each other, but like they love each other,
Yeah.
I did not say that any differently. They love each other. They're good friends. And then she's actually a really powerful pyrokinetic. She controls heat.
Yeah.
And like controls people's equilibrium and makes them get
she controls,
vertigo.
Like makes like flowers.
She's actually very powerful. And I think out of all the female characters, she is actually treated pretty well, where she has a lot of character development, a lot of backstory, and a lot of motive, and you can understand. But yeah, so for character development, I think we kind of hit all those points.
Yeah. It's okay. It could do better.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see it better in the second season.
A lot of the character development is just Shinra saying he's going to be a hero, and he goes in and saves everyone.
Yeah.
So Tamaki almost has a great moment, and Shinra comes in and saves her and falls in her boobs.
Yeah.
She almost was great. Same with Iris and Habana. They had a great moment where they were like, their ideals were conflicting, and Habana just rips all of Iris's clothes off and throws her to the ground, and then she becomes a damsel, and Shinra comes in and beats the crap out of Habana, and it's resolved. And I'm like, that was almost a great character development moment until Shinra came in.
Yeah.
Same with Company 7. Shinra has to save everyone. Like, he has to save Captain, I forgot his name.
Bond.
Benimaru. Benimaru. We're calling him Benny. He had to go save Benny. And I was like, that wasn't necessary. Like, Shinra just isn't unnecessary. He keeps getting inserted into, like, the main climatic points of other characters, and it's not necessary. It would be great if it's like Natsu, where there's actual character development at some points, but there's not. Like, in Fairy Tail, I don't know why I keep comparing the show to Fairy Tail, but like Urza and Gray and Lucy, they all have their major character development moments.
Yeah.
But they fight their own battles.
I think you're comparing it because we were talking about Todd Havercorn not too long ago.
I think that's what it is. That's another thing. Why is Todd Havercorn not a voice actor for a show called Fire Force? Why? No!
When I first watched Fire Force and stuff, for a split second, when I first heard Shinra's voice actor,
I did too.
I thought it was Todd Havercorn.
I thought it was Todd Havercorn.
But then I looked it up
and
I was like,
so
it's not
disappointed.
Todd Havercorn.
Where's Todd? Todd, where are you?
As you can see, we're obsessed with Todd Haberkorn.
I love him. Because he's just the perfect, like, they literally inserted Natsu into My Hero.
Yeah,
like, they literally, like, oh, look at this guy. And then they like, put him in the Fire Force. He better come back. He better be, like, the big baddie or something. He better come back.
Yes.
He better. Because that man deserves to be in a show of fire.
Yeah, I thought it was Todd Haberkorn, and then when I found out it wasn't, I was so disappointed. I was like, ugh. I mean, not to say that this guy didn't do a good job, but
he did fine. But, like, Todd Haberkorn could have definitely
Todd Haberkorn could have, done this job good just because he's Todd Haberkorn.
He's just Todd Haberkorn. He's just good, for that. But yeah,
we should probably get on the animation now.
Yeah, the only other thing I want to talk about characters, which you kind of mentioned, there's just way too many.
Yeah.
There's not enough episodes yet for the great development of the characters. And they should have focused more on certain characters which I think they kind of did, but I don't think any character got a huge development, which needed to be done this first season.
Exactly.
But we'll talk about that more later. But animation. Mel, first impressions?
I really liked it. I think they did really well. So, like, the character designs were very unique.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm very picky about character designing,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't like it, I tend to not watch it. Even if it's a very good anime, if I just get, like, this, like, feeling from, like, the character design, I just tend not. And
no, I understand.
It was very refreshing, and I didn't have a problem with it, even though it was, like, very different. And I liked how they did all the fire and how they, did all. I just thought it was really good animation. I thought it was colorful. I thought it was very in your face. It wasn't boring. They went all out for it.
I definitely think the animation was the draw of this anime. The very well animated fight scenes, the shadows on the characters I thought was really good. And the use of shadow. It wasn't so much the use of shadows, it was the use of light.
Mm-hmm.
The big boss battle at the end, the lights, the whole time. Oh, okay. You can tell they spent most of their time animating these fights because the fights are great. The way they use the fire when Shinra like shoots off and stuff.
Yes.
And they condense it and release it. And it's shocking for the studio to have made this great of quality animation, in my opinion.
But then again,
they make great quality.
They did JoJo.
They did JoJo, but it's a very different style.
That's true.
And this style is very like Bones style. That's why a lot of people thought that Bones made this, like produced this at first. But
yeah,
it's very, very impressive for the studio to have made this type of animation style, these type of shonen, because they don't normally do this.
One comment though is about that. It's funny though that I found that a lot of people were actually comparing this show to JoJo.
Oh really?
Yeah, especially in like the last scene. When Sho and like Sheena are like fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of comments where they were comparing it to Jotaro and Dio.
I can see that. I know the fight. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I don't know, like
it's very well choreographed, which I think JoJo did a good job, and I think you can see a lot of that inspiration, especially Company 7, that whole arc.
Yes.
That was all very well choreographed.
My favorite fight was the one with like Rekka.
Yes, that was so good.
Though when like Sheena came through and like stomped his foot on Rekka, I was like, how did that not kill him?
Right? Well, like the fact that the character died, period, shocked me. Like how I was like, and that one dude got his arm lobbed off.
Yes.
I was like, oh, rip. And I didn't realize it because I was rewatching it and he's praying in the temple. I'm like, where's his other arm? Like, why does he only have one hand standing? And I was like, oh, because he's missing his other arm. I was like, rip that dude. But it was...
Yeah, because he stood in front of like Karim and stuff to like...
protect him. I was like, rip, this company is... Their lieutenants are... going down.
But no, I liked that whole battle between like Rekka and Sheena and stuff. But because like I had to go back and watch that scene like a few times when like Sheena came through and like stomped his foot on Rekka's head.
Oh, it was so good.
Because I was like, he gets back up and starts fighting. Like, how did it? It's like,
oh yeah.
It's like, okay, I could see if the foot went through like his chest or something like that, but on his head.
Yeah.
And like,
well, I don't know.
anime logic. It's
anime
just
logic, my
anime
dudes.
logic.
But the only complaint I had about the animation is that it's very, so you can tell they focus on the battles, but it's very manga. Like they just took the manga panel and colored it in.
Yeah.
And they talk over that. There's a lot of those scenes where they're just dialogue on a same shot. Yeah. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. But like one of the things we liked about Promised Neverland so much was that even when they're just talking, the camera is rotating or like changing.
It's doing a different shot, different angles.
Which I wish this studio did that more. But also you can tell they focus so much on the battles. Which, speaking of battles, let's go into the music, because I think the sound effects is really what pushed the battles.
Okay, I love the sound effects and stuff whenever, like, the fire goes off, or, like, when Shinra, like, blasts off and, like,
it was really good.
You know, like...
And, like, especially in the final fight with Sho and Shinra, the time, how they stopped time and, like, the feathers falling, and then, like, the sound effects they had.
And that's also a thing that they were, like, comparing it
to
JoJo and stuff, is that they were like, time.
They're
and,
like, Jotaro?
One can stop...
Dio?
One can stop time. One can go at the speed of light 2 matches to stop time.
Which, okay, given that they're 2 different authors, but it's funny, the comparisons that you can make. But I did like the sound effect. Oh, Arthur's sword, the sound effects they did a lot of times was really cool. It was just like shing. I was like, oh, because we talked about which show was it?
Like lightsaber type.
Yes, like. Which show was it that we talked about the sword sound effect that we really liked? It was one we reviewed. Was it Nora? It was Nora, I think. Rise of the Yokai Clan. No.
Or was it Demon Slayer?
Did we review Demon Slayer?
Yes.
We did review Demon Slayer. That's the show then. That's the one.
It's okay. It was a long time ago.
But yeah, so music.
I liked the music.
The original soundtrack, nothing like SAO or Madoka, but I still liked it.
Yeah, there were like some moments and stuff where I was like, this is like, you know, Shinra and like Sho are like talking. I thought that song was like really good. I was like, that's a pretty good song.
There was the fight, Burns and Shinra at the very end. It had this orchestral, like almost like the Phantom Menace type of song that they played in the Jedi fights, and it's very similar to that. I love the Joker's theme, the very like Nola type styled like Swainy. I was like, oh, okay. It's very similar, like not same as Hisoka's song, but it's like, you know, Hisoka's Spanish but like Joker's was very like
jazzy type of
and I was like, I liked it because it was a distinct contrast, and it was like, I don't know, I was like, oh, okay, I was like, okay, I can get behind this.
No, but I think the composer did a really good job.
Yes, I agree.
With the soundtrack. And
so you want to talk about the openings?
Yes, I really liked both openings, which honestly, coming from me, that's saying something.
Yeah, she doesn't like any of the openings usually in the anime.
Well, because usually I always like the first opening, and then I never like any of the other openings, except for My Hero. My Hero is another story, but for most anime, I tend to not like any other opening that comes after.
I agree. But the problem is the second opening is definitely not as great as the first opening.
Yeah. I still liked it.
I still liked it, but the first opening was just it was like the first recommendation we did. I love this song so much. We reviewed this in the top 10. Yeah. So if you guys want to, this is a good little plug. If you guys want a little bit of a deeper dive into the first opening, go listen to our top 10 shonen anime openings because it's on that list.
Yes.
It is so good. I know that song by heart now.
I know you know that song by heart.
I do.
Yeah, I really liked both of them. Of course, like, I love the first opening. You know, I could listen to that and watch that pretty much any point.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But for the endings, I tended to like the second ending.
See, I like the ending better. First ending better.
I liked the second one.
But I like the second one as well.
I don't know if it just had more of like a, like, you know, like, yeah, like more of like a, more like,
it's on my playlist.
More of like an opening feel to it, and so.
We're trying to catch a fly. It's like,
trying to catch
it's flying around. I'm going to get you. Whoa, sorry. Sorry for that distraction.
We're kind of getting off track here today.
Dude, today has been like, the past couple episodes we've been pretty like regimented, and what we talked about today, we're like, whoa. I'm like, oh, look,
everywhere.
There's a butterfly.
Let's stop for a second and stare at it.
Let's just stare at it for a couple minutes. Endings. Is that what we were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yes. But the thing is, I think crazy is that both endings were good, you know?
Yeah. They were both good. I preferred the second ending a little more.
I agree. I definitely did like this. I think I like the second ending song better than the first ending song. I like the animation better than the first ending.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
But yeah, that's the music. So do you want to just kind of do some final thoughts of the show? Like what we're hoping for the next season, like best aspects, worst aspects?
I mean, like, with the show as a whole, you know, like, of course it wasn't, like, my favorite, and it definitely didn't make my top 10 in favorite anime, but it's, like, I wouldn't be opposed to, like, recommending it to somebody.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this to someone, like, if
they were looking for something to watch and they just weren't sure, I'd be like, this is probably one of the options I'd give them.
Yeah. If it's a boy, I would definitely give Fire Force. If it's a girl that's hardcore into feminism, I would not recommend this show. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I think I'm making it sound like I don't like feminists. No. I'm just saying that this show is not your target. You're not the target audience of the show. Or would anyone in the Western culture be. But that's my biggest issue with the show, how they treat their female characters.
I'm hoping to see that a little bit better in, like, the second
I think
season.
Once there's more development of the secondary characters and Tamaki is not so much of a fan service girl in the middle of fights, I really think the biggest issues that people have with the show would be resolved.
Yeah.
Like, I really do think if you give more secondary character development for the female characters, don't sexualize them as much, and only do fan service and, like,
and
the funny
we might see
moments.
that with, like, a different director, and, you know.
It's possible, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the source material.
Well, you know.
Yeah, but still. I don't know. I think
Directors don't ever have to stay true to
Well, we both know that animes only do well if it stays true to the manga most of the time. But I would be interested. I have heard, as I haven't read spoilers, but I do know that the manga does deep dive more into characters, especially Arthur and the other female characters. Characters start dying more often, which I think the show needs.
See, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm kind of hoping for more character development.
Yes,
you know?
That's my biggest thing. I hope it takes like a fairy tale approach where if there's like a lot of seasons that there'll be certain arcs, like the Tenryou arc focused so much on Kana and fairy tale, made that character a loved character, not just the alcoholic. I hope this show will do, like, instead of Maki just being the strong-headed character, there's an arc where she has a whole reason behind it. She has a secret or something. Yeah. I really hope that there's some development
there. They give her, like, a bigger part in it.
That's what I'm hoping for the show. Into the next season. I just want the fights to keep happening, though. Yeah. I love those fights.
Keep the animation going. You guys are doing great.
Keep the music going. I would love for the music to, like, get a little bit better for something, like, more iconic. Yeah. Where the soundtrack is more iconic, like an SAO type of soundtrack or a Madoka more soundtrack.
Yes. That's what I was just about to say.
A fairy tale type of soundtrack, just something more unusual. I hope it takes that approach. Hellsing, the first Hellsing that has the jazz. I hope it does something like that. Because I think if the music does that and then they treat their female characters better, I think the show would be, like, golden. I think it would definitely pop up on my list. It would go up higher.
Definitely.
Because it's so much potential right now, and it's kind of slacking. But I know the second season was made very quickly with the first season. It was intentional. So I'm not going to do final judgment on this show until after I watch the second season. Yeah. I think that'll be the make or break of the show.
Yeah. I agree with you.
That's really all my thoughts on it. I did have one question I want to bring up, as I have been doing for some strange reason. It's kind of the same question, but if you were a pyrokinetic in the Fire Force, what would your pyrokinetic abilities be? And or which character would you most like? Like, if you find ability you already like, which one are you like? Or do you have an original pyrokinetic ability?
I think I'd have like an original,
Oh, Mo is unique. She is her
I
own
feel
person. I like this.
I feel like a lot of like their pyrokinetic abilities are related to like their personality and
Yeah,
things that
that's
they
true.
like to do, and so like I feel like I'd have some sort of like leg pyrokinetic ability that revolves around like
dance and
dancing
stuff.
or something.
I like that. So almost Tamaki like, but minus the absurd hand service and cat girl aspects.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't really know what mine would be. Do you have any thoughts about what mine would be?
Hmm.
I know my brother's. My brother would literally be Arthur Boyle. Without a doubt. He would be a huge sword fighter.
I feel like you would be someone like Hinawa.
Like Lieutenant. Yeah, my personality. I'm not a 2D character in real life, but if I was a 2D character in an anime, like in terms of like personality, my personality would most likely be like Hinawa. So I'd probably be a weapon specialist of some sort.
Yeah. I could see that.
I can see
So you'd
that.
be like second gen.
Yeah, I'd be a second gen. I would be like...
I'd feel like I'd be more like third gen.
You would definitely be more of a third gen type of character. I'd be a second gen character. I would do something with guns, some type of ammunition type thing. I don't know. A little, maybe, yeah, something like that probably.
Yeah.
I'd be definitely more of like the discipline aspect. If any of the fans out there, all of you that are listening to so many listeners, let us know what would your pyrokinetic abilities be? Like, what would you be? Like, who would you be? Like, how would your abilities work? And, let's have a discussion about that. Like, I always, we did that with My Hero. We talked about what our quirks would be and stuff, which we're not talking about right now because I need to think about that some more. But I think it's a fun discussion, like, inserting us into the anime. How would we fit in? Like, where would our story be? If we're going to be honest, I'd probably be dead. We would all be dead because we're in America, and America died.
Yeah.
America gone. The whole continent's gone. So, but if we were in Tokyo for some strange reason, how would we turn out? I think your roommate would be a nun.
No, I don't think she would.
She would be Maki.
I think she'd be a Maki.
She'd be a Maki type thing. I can see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've talked about the anime quite a bit now.
We should probably get into our recs
our music
and
recs.
choosing.
And choose. Oh yes, because we can choose next week, and then the week after that we'll do another top 10. So if anyone has recommendations, we would already have recorded, but you can still give us recommendations. Let us know, please, what you would like us to do for our next top 10. Mo, do you want to do your first rec for music?
Yes, I'm going to do my first recommendation, and it's because I've been recently watching Black Clover that I'm going to give a Black Clover opening.
Wait, can I guess which one you're wrecking?
What?
Guess who is back?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to... Please tell us. I love this song.
I freaking love this opening. So it's Guess Who Is Back by Kumi Koda, and it is a Black Clover opening. It's the 4th opening. And I freaking love this opening. I think that the visuals and the animation it is awesome. I just love the blurriness and then the focus
yeah.
and then the close-ups of all the characters.
Because we recommended one of the Black Clover openings in our top 10, but we only wanted to choose one per anime. Black Clover is one of those animes which, in my top 100, there would be multiple, and this is one of those openings that would probably be on that in addition to Black Catcher, because it's just, the song's really upbeat. It kind of when you listen to it, you can almost feel like you feel like you're in the anime, like you're fighting, you know?
Guess who is back?
Yeah,
Dun, dun, dun,
yeah, am I the only one that's there? I listen to an anime opening when I'm working out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm killing those mages. I am, training to be the next hunter. I'm
training to be the next hunter.
Just jamming. I'm listening to Fire Force's opening, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm shooting my guns, and I'm killing infernos. Am I the only one that does that?
Yeah.
What? No.
I don't do that.
Prove Mo wrong. Prove Mo wrong. Please comment.
But no, I love that opening.
It's a good opening.
I could listen to that opening forever.
My friend Carter loves Black Clover, and this is one of his favorite openings. Thank you, Carter, for listening to the podcast, by the way. I appreciate your support. I guess I
Hello,
should do
Carter.
my
I
music.
don't know you.
I'll make you guys meet. Oh,
Okay.
that was creepy. I'm forcing y'all to meet.
You're gonna meet.
But I'll do my music rec.
Okay.
It's different than normal.
What?
You're gonna laugh so hard.
Am I?
Yes. So, I'm not recommending a song. I'm recommending a musical. Because there's a Death Note musical.
No!
And it's really good! I'm sorry. It was.
You're combining your playlist.
I know. I have a Broadway playlist, which is more extensive than my anime playlist, believe it or not. And I found this, but it's not on Spotify. There is a playlist on YouTube that has all of the English songs. There's not really any of the Japanese songs, but it has all the English songs because it's an English-made, like a composer who made Jekyll and Hyde made Death Note the musical. He made the songs, and then Japan has been producing it. And it's so good. Like, the songs, like, truly...
So which one are you recommending?
All of them. The whole musical.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. If I had to recommend one, opening song Justice is really good. I love Ren's song right before she does that thing for Lisa. Yeah, Misa.
Lisa.
And Hurricane's really good. There's one song that I like really, really liked. Pretty much Light. Oh, Stalemate. The final song between L and Light. Oh, it's so good because Light's voice actor is Jeremy Jordan, and he's really good at like the higher ranged. And then I don't remember who the voice actor for L was, but they have a duet about who's winning, and it's and then L has this one song called
I'm gonna end up watching this one of these days with you.
Oh yeah, and then like L has this one song where he's like calculating the numbers, and it's really. And there's like Misa when she's introduced has a very J-pop song, and then like there's this sort of jazzy swing duet between the Shinigami's. It's really good. Like the music was surprisingly good. I expected it to be poor. I was like, oh, there's it's about
like live action.
Oh, this is gonna be stupid. It's gonna be like a Netflix live adaptation, but it was actually really, really good. I strongly recommend it. There's a whole playlist on YouTube. I've been listening to it like every day. I'll have you listen to it in a little bit, probably.
Okay. We should probably get on to drawing.
Our drawing. I think you need to draw this time because I've been drawing too much.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no. The jar.
The famous jar.
I didn't realize that, like, when Dylan was here, he was like, oh my gosh, the jar. And I was like, it's just the jar. But maybe we should post a photo of the jar on the Instagram. It smells like spices. Okay. I added a couple of my animes to this. You seriously need to add some of yours.
I know.
Need to. Okay, girl, you're going to go home. And you're going to write down what you've watched since we started this podcast, and you're going to come back and add them. Because I'm not going to sit here and have you go through everything and add it. You're going to do this on your own time, okay? I'll text you like every 2 hours today to get you to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, there doesn't seem like there's that many in here. Draw. What are we reviewing next week? All right. What are we doing?
Black Clover.
Are you kidding? I don't know. Can we do Black Clover?
I haven't finished it. Matty, I have over 100 episodes I still need to watch.
You can do it. Okay. Let's think. How about we postpone this review, until you finish the show, and then we'll review it.
Okay.
Fans, that's what we're going to do. Because I don't want to rush Mo through this, because it is a good show, and it's a lot. So, and I haven't caught up yet. But we would probably most likely only review a very general overview. This is going to be a hard show to review. It's going to be a lot like Attack on Titan and SAO.
Yeah.
There's a lot of material. We'll definitely review this later. We'll just do that. We'll review this. Once Mo finishes, we'll review. And I'll catch up and we'll review it. This will probably be in like November.
Yes.
New draw.
We'll leave it right here.
We'll leave it right here. Mo, take 2 on the draw. We'll do this one. No takey backs.
We will do this one. We promise.
Oh, no. Yes, we're doing it. Read it, Mo. We are doing this show. How? What? How did we draw Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun? Are you kidding? Did you put that? You put that back in the jar, didn't you?
I don't know what I did.
Girl, you're fired. Okay, take 3 on this draw.
Funny how I would pull Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun again.
Yeah, because you put it back in the jar, as I remember.
But it's funny that I would draw it again.
Draw it.
We'll do this one.
I hope it's No Game, No Life.
Have you finished No Game, No Life?
No, but add in the jar.
I've always liked you.
Is that the title?
Yes.
Is it shoujo?
Yes. We haven't done a shoujo in a while.
I'm excited because I've been wanting to watch more shoujo, and I've been going to the dark fantasy.
This one's really cute.
Okay, wait. So do you kind of want to describe this anime a little bit?
Oh, okay. So this one, it's actually a movie.
Oh, I like movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never watched one, but this will be super easy.
The one I described, it's like a spin-off of, but like you don't need to know like the original story to get this one. Like you can literally, it's like its own thing.
Wait. So what are we watching? We're watching a movie?
Yes, it's a movie.
Okay.
But it's like a spin-off from the one that I was like talking about.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little overwhelming. You're going to have to text me what I need to watch in order to watch it.
I will. It's really cute. Like, it's short. It's not that long. Like, I'm going to tell you that our next episode is not going to be very long at all.
Hey, maybe a lot of shit will happen this next week.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens this week.
But it's basically the same premise, but it's different characters.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. So, Mo, do you want to plug our social media?
Yeah, let's do it. Our Instagram is Bingers Anime Edition, and our Twitter, you can find us at Anime Bingers. And we're getting ready to get a YouTube channel, guys.
Yes, I seriously need to do that. It's not going to take long. It's mostly just going to be, it's going to start off with us just uploading all of our episodes on there with our logo. It's not going to be fancy. And I'll just use the MP3 files I have.
But yeah, you guys will be able to find us on YouTube and as well as, Apple, Spotify, exactly. Google.
I'm also hoping to put all of our top 10 compilations of our anime songs and stuff on there. And also putting our music recs, our YouTube videos for our music recs on there. Because I think that'd be cool. Problem is copyright. It's a whole thing. It's a whole shindig. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Good luck Menjin out there.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.